Hi Sudhanshu, how are you doing?
I'm good, sir.
So today I'll be conducting this mock interview of yours to understand your technical depth, communication, and clarity. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So Sudhanshu, can you please start with an introduction?
So, sir, my name is Sudhanshu Bhardwaj, and I'm a BTech student from Triple IT Jabalpur. And I'm interested in basically in software development, especially if I talk about that backend systems and full stack web development. And also during my college, I worked with the technologies like JavaScript, React, Node.js, Express, MongoDB, and some bit Python also. And I have built several projects also using that MERN stack, such as if I take examples of our projects like first one is task management and simple note making web app like a keep notes type, and basically a simple authentication based user dashboard in which basically user can register and log in and they can manage their own data.
Great, yeah. You are from a very nice college, Sudhanshu. So as you are excited for software development roles, so how much would you rate yourself in data structure and algorithms and MERN stack out of 10?
I have solved basically 480 plus lead code questions. So in DSA, I like to rate myself 8 out of 10. And if I talk about the MERN stack, I'll rate in the development part 8 out of 10. Say 8 out of 10.
Why 8?
So, sir, I am confident in both, but there is some issue like if the advanced topic like in DSA like tries segmentary, I in that part of DSA I found something problems in that type of questions. And MERN stack is very vast, so I couldn't think like I'm master of that MERN stack.
Okay, let us start with some DSA questions, okay? Some basic DSA questions. So tell me what all approaches do we use while usually solving a DSA problem?
So, sir, basically, first we try normally. First, we try normally to approach like a brute force type. Then, for some bit of optimization, we'll use recursion, backtracking. We use also DP also and two pointer methods in some problems to optimize the solution.
Okay, can you please explain me the sliding window approach?
Basically, the sliding window is a technique in which we solve the problem involving the sub-array part.
And when do we use this sliding window approach?
बेसिकली इसको हम यूज कर सकते हैं फॉर एग्जांपल हमें कोई स्ट्रिंग दे रखा हो और हमें उस स्ट्रिंग की सब स्ट्रिंग्स निकालनी है या कुछ स्ट्रिंग के पार्ट्स तक मूव करना है जिसमें फॉर एग्जांपल पी की नंबर दे रखा हो हमें उस तक मूव करना है तो हम एक ऑप्टिमाइज टेक्निक्स में स्लाइडिंग विंडो भी यूज करते हैं.
Okay, what is hashing?
It is also a technique where we take a key as converted into an index. It's a hash function.
Okay, and why do we use this?
We used, I think, for the searching part and insertion part.
Okay, Sudhanshu, so let us come to MERN stack now. Okay, just please tell me what are middleware in JavaScript.
If I'll tell about the middlewares, basically it is a function that's run between a request side and the response side in web applications.
And why do we use this?
Sir, I think Express.js and all, I guess.
Okay, what are closures?
Closures are the... Sir, I can't remember right now.
You know, Sudhanshu, event loop in JavaScript.
Yes, sir. Event loops in JavaScript. Event loops allow JavaScript to handle the async operations. If I tell out examples like set timeout, API calls, and promises like this thing.
So is JavaScript single-threaded or multi-threaded?
Yes, sir. JavaScript is single-threaded language.
Then how multiple requests are handled in JavaScript if it is single-threaded?
They can handle multiple requests just like previous with using the event loop.
Can you explain the mechanism, how it is being handled?
So I just remember two things like the event loop in we use that mainly two things like call stack and callback queue.
Okay, we use callback and call stack queue, but how multiple requests are handled, Sudhanshu?
So basically, multiple request handle in JavaScript. This with a to
Okay, when an async task like API or DB is called, it runs in the background when the main thread keeps working. And when it finishes, the event loop puts its callback back on the main thread when it becomes free. So this is how multiple requests are handled, even being single threaded with the help
Okay.
of
Oh
event.
yeah. Okay. Okay. Yes, sir. I remember. I remember.
Sudhanshu, try to be confident if you are getting clicked with something in your mind. Just try to connect the things and answer. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sure.
Sudhanshu, just tell me what a prop is.
Props in.
React.
So basically, props they are used to basically pass the data from one component to another component in code.
And more, something else.
Uh, they make, I think, reusable components.
What is difference between authorization and authentication?
So basically, authentication verify the user is, for example, their login credentials, login. Sorry, if for example their login with username like username, passwords, or something like a token thing, so that they can enter the website. And authorization determines that what the user is allowed to access. For example, if they enter in the websites, so authorization mainly depicts that what type of pages the user can access.
Good. You know what are HTTP methods?
Yes, HTTP method. So I think there are mainly 3 to 4 type HTTP methods. For example, so first is get method, the second is post method, third is put method, and the fourth one delete method.
What is client server architecture?
Client is, I think, sorry, okay, the client usually the front end means the client is in front of browser or a mobile app. They sends a request to the server means the backend that process the request, and after that processing that request, they take the data means they interact with the database so that they can take out the data, and after that the server sends the response uh, to, I think, to the browser.
Okay. You know the difference between var, let, and const?
Where is a function scope, and const is a block scope, and means let can be updated. Const and let are same, but in const we cannot reassign the variable name.
Okay. So what we use, var, let, or const in general usage?
It depends if the variable reassigns, so we can use let. And if we think that this variable is not going to be changed, for example, date, time.
Okay, Sudhanshu, that's all from my side. I'll just have a common feedback on what he delivered to me. Okay. I started with some DSA basics and pushed this session towards some MERN stack related questions. So my understanding about you is you need to work more on our basics. When to use var, let, or const is something deprecated. You need to be updated, okay, with these things. You need to understand the basic client server architecture. You know things, you know the jargon words, the jargon terms, but you still lack the confidence of delivering the things. Okay, try to watch more tutorials. Okay, see more and more tutorials, understand the basic architecture, the word, the props, or the related things like closures. Okay, firstly give a great hands-on on your definition and terminology understanding, then start working on mini projects. You, as you mentioned, you had work on projects, but also try to understand those things while working on the project. What are you building and how these things which you have studied are being used.
Okay, sir.
So these will help to deliver the definition plus example to the interviewer. Okay,
Okay.
and in the part of the confidence, I would say try to look straight to the camera. Okay, while delivering, while you are thinking, you are looking up. That's a normal human behavior, but I believe you should look in the camera. If you know an answer, just try to build that answer in front of the interviewer, or just say no. Okay, I know, don't, I can't recall. Okay,
Okay, sir.
and all the best for future. If you have anything, you may ask.
No, sir. I think I get my feedback and I improve on this.
Great. Okay, thank you, Sudhanshu.
Thank you, sir.